Hey everybody, this is the My AP Media Gaming Crew. The first day of E3 is done. We just watched the Sony press conference and blew us away, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
That was sick.
Yeah,
it was really
It was
good.
painful to watch at times. Poor Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
Poor Microsoft.
Yeah.
Trying to change the rules on everybody, all this DRM bullshit and having to sign into the internet and stuff. I mean, it feels like when Microsoft did that, they were presenting it like this is an option that exists because this is the future and this is the way it should be. And I feel like Sony just kind of,
Can I make a
crap all
quick
over
point
that.
on that?
Sure.
I just want to point this one thing out that everyone's like, I feel like this is a ploy by, not a ploy, but this is a strategy by Sony to kind of gain hype and like get that following from people and like kind of, it's like an internet marketing tactic to say screw Xbox, all that stuff they did. They're plugging, like they're being anti-Microsoft, and what most people don't realize is they have a form of DRM anyway, which is PlayStation Plus and the multiplayer aspect, right? Most of the games that we saw had multiplayer in it or some sort of component of multiplayer, so that requires a always-on multiplayer connection because obviously you need the internet to play that. What they did do, which I will applaud them for, is they gave the consumer the choice. That's important. When the consumer has maybe the illusion of choice, we can use that word, when they have that thought in their head, then from there forward, they're happy. They're like, if I choose to go online, then I have to face these restrictions.
But haven't we always faced that with multiplayer games?
Yes, we have.
That's why it's not so bad with Microsoft. When Microsoft's trying to shove it down your throat,
Yeah.
even when you're not playing a multiplayer game, and to me that just feels wrong. And also just the way they're handling used games. It's true. If you buy something, like
It's your ownership, yeah.
yeah, and it's not just like I have the right to own it. It's just when you actually own it and you can do what you want with it, you get more value out of it. And a lot of people, especially developers, that complain, oh, people are just going to trade our game in and buy it used. You should be happy about that because when people trade in games, excluding like the handful of crackheads who go trade in games to go buy crack, most of the time they're buying more games, brand new, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like putting money back into the industry. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, let's go back to the conference itself. I mean, Jeff, the CEO, Jeff Tenton, the CEO, did an amazing job. I mean, out of all the speakers, he was there. And he did a pretty good job about the brand.
Yeah, what a CEO.
Yeah.
Starting with the way back when, and all the games, and then coming forward, and then presenting and rising you or bringing you up to what you wanted to hear.
Jack's been there from the beginning. I mean, he's been with Sony and PlayStation since he worked on PS1 before it came out. I mean, he launched that. He's basically like kind of like the father of the PlayStation brand, which is it's nice that like those ideals like haven't dropped off, and it looks like Sony is in a better position to own the next generation more so than any other.
I really like Sony. You can really see how the companies differentiate themselves based on their conferences. You've got Microsoft, which is like this all-American kind of laid-back approach, and then you've got EA, sorry. Then you've got Ubisoft, who's more like trendy and it's like cool, and they've got Aisha Taylor up there, and then you've got Sony, who's all like Japanese, and they've got the suits, and it's very classic, and it's very, I don't know, I like that. When I saw that, I'm like, this is a press conference. Ubisoft put on a great show. Sony put on an amazing press conference.
The way I would describe Sony's performance was just like faithful to the consumer, faithful to the PlayStation brand.
Yeah.
It's business-like.
Yeah, exactly.
It has a product, and they're advertising it. It's not.
Yeah.
Microsoft flips back and forth on what they stand for and what they are as a product. It's confusing as a consumer to see that from them.
Though they may have a product that right now we're looking at and saying, Sony is doing the game and they're doing it right, but Microsoft has a product that may last a little longer. We have to get used to it. Changes are hard to digest. So, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a fair point.
That is a good point, but okay, let's compare. PS3, Xbox 360.
Prices, that's it, finished.
Not even
Discussion's
prices
over.
though. I mean,
Agreed.
we're at this point. Okay, so 2006, 2007, these consoles came out. Now we're in 2013. Which, if you had to pick between the two, would you rather have for new content, a PS3 or a 360?
It's a really good question.
PS3, they're still supporting it. Look how many new games are coming out. It feels as if even if Microsoft weren't in a position to present you with a technologically more advanced product, we're not comparing techs right now because it's no point. But even if they were to offer you a product that could potentially last longer than Sony's box, I feel like Sony would support it longer just because they're Sony, and that's the way that they like present their brand.
Sony, I agree with you. Sony has this rich kind of history to it, where it's like just the idea of that the executives forego their bonuses to get that profit that they recorded for the first time in I forget how many years, but just that fact, it shows like this level of like I don't know, honor, commitment, right?
It's the truth. I mean, even look at the way that Sony is supporting all the independents.
Oh,
Not even
wow.
those. Look at the PlayStation 2. How long do they support that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just recently they just cut that
They
off.
only discontinued the actual hardware, like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And they were still
Insane.
producing games for up till last year or the year before.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that these consoles are basically, it's off-the-shelf hardware, so it's like PC hardware. Look how many great games that are on Steam that were only available on PCs that are now going to be able, you can get them on a PS3. Or sorry, PS4. I mean, a lot of people in the modern day and age don't want to have a gigantic gaming PC, and now that a lot of these PC experiences are coming over, you might not need one in the future.
Actually, that begs the question that now that these things are so heavily, like, they're so powerful and that they work so well, at least for the next few years before PCs upgrade a lot more, does this mean we're going to see more Sony and Steam partnerships? Do you think that'll happen? More cross-platform, more Steam, PSN kind of hookups? Do you
Well, I think
want
that's
that?
kind of... I do want it because I'm not 100% sure if a Steam box is the right way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Valve and Sony have kind of dipped their toe in that water.
Mhm.
So I kind of hope that carries through. What did you guys think of the games that they showed? They showed a lot of games.
There were so many, I couldn't keep
Yeah,
track.
but we didn't really get to see much of a lot of the games. With like, there were key games you got to see a lot of, like
Yeah.
Black Flag and Watch Dogs. But there were other games there like Arkham Origins, The Order, stuff like that. It was very, very brief, very, very quick. If you even saw gameplay, most of them was just a very brief trailer, less
Now-
than a minute long.
There were so many of them.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking about Black Flag, Max, what was your theory about why that lag was happening, which was very awkward?
Yeah, so a lot of
happened-
people noticed some weird lag. Okay, so here's
8 times it froze.
here's my theory. So there's two possible scenarios I see. In order to show a game on a screen that large, the resolution on a screen that's enormous like that, like a theater screen, is way different than a regular television screen. So there has to be some sort of post-processing device that can upscale it so it doesn't look... Otherwise, it looks really blurry. It's like when you upscale standard definition to a high TV, it looks weird. So I think they have some sort of PC architecture in between that's upscaling the image, and that's where I think the problems were coming in. But that does show us one thing, that those demos were completely legit. They were running in real time.
Yeah.
And you don't really see that a lot these days. Actually, it's a little bit telling that when you saw something like Destiny, it wasn't, because chances are that was completely...
That only
Yeah.
froze once.
And I like
Yeah,
that.
no, but it froze. Destiny did
Yeah,
it
froze
froze
once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so maybe that was real too.
So, do you think Sony's learned their lessons now? Like, next time they'll come with pre-recorded? Because I'm fine with pre-recorded gameplay. As long as it's still gameplay. I don't want to watch CGI. I don't want to watch something that's cut together. I want to watch straight gameplay. Give me like 5 minutes of gameplay so I can judge something.
I don't know, I kind of like seeing like the games like fuck up, because it's more legitimate. It's like more when you're playing the game, that's the experience you're going to get. I don't want to see something that's like too perfect, you're not going to be able to play it that way.
Yeah.
You know, like in a lot of Assassin's Creed demos in the past, they would show you something where you would never even get hit, and it's just not very real. All right, guys. So one thing we've got to talk about is price point. I was really taken aback. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal.
$399.
Especially considering how expensive the PS3 was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because back home, I knew no one bought a PS3 at
So,
launch.
Yeah. PS4.
Yeah.
$400. Xbox One. $500.
Yeah.
And you can play used games without a hassle or any other fees on a PS4.
Well, there is the
Except
online fee.
Multiplayer.
except multiplayer, but even then,
$5.
it's still a better value. Even
Yeah,
then
but it's
a
still,
better value.
it was free and now it's not, and they found a way to make it so that they managed to make paying for online look like a good thing.
They
Yeah.
did manage to make it look like a good thing, but honestly, we're at the point now where paying for online, it is like, it's okay, so Microsoft is trying to make always online part of something that we expect and that we're used to, and it's not. We're not used to it, we're not okay with it, right? But paying for online, we're mostly okay with it, right? Especially-
Mostly, like I've been a Sony guy for a while,
Same
and I
here.
like the fact that it was free. And then, but then when they introduced the PlayStation Plus, I didn't kind of hit them on that because I was like, I do want this, but I don't want to get it yet, and I just kept delaying it, and I'm moving towards getting it. Like I know I want to get it, and now they're kind of forcing me to get it, so I will get it, but I don't like that they did that. But then what can I do? And you know what? It's expected. Like I get it. It's a good business.
Honestly though, they're like when I think about it, they're giving me so much value. Okay, so PS Plus is $5 a month. Xbox Live is $15 a month.
Yeah.
On Xbox Live, you get the ability to play games online. That's all you get.
Yeah.
With PS4, you get cloud saves, you get a whole bunch of free games, you get discounts on everything in the store, and it's only $5 a month. It's a third of the price for the same thing. So honestly, it's like $5 a month. I mean, you can buy what, an entire year for probably like $30 or something.
Yeah, it's a
you-
marketing bombshell. Yeah, for
Did you
sure.
guys pick up on the fact that Xbox now said that you get 2 games a month or something like that for free? Which Sony's been doing. That's what PlayStation Plus offers. It's one of the best things about PlayStation Plus. It's a huge catalog of free games.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus is also giving you like pretty relevant games.
Yeah.
Microsoft is giving you Assassin's Creed 2. I'm sorry, Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed 2.
Yeah.
And
Game
Halo
that came
3.
out in 2008.
Yeah.
And Halo 3, like they're good games, but they're so old, and there's 2.
That's why no one clapped. That's why no one in the audience, everyone in the audience was like, well,
I like that. That's a very good point. You see the difference how the audience was engaged into this press release, and then Sony did a good job.
I don't know.
To-
With
to-
Sony's press conference, as a consumer, I felt more respected. They made it feel like people that had lifted this brand up to the point where it's at.
Yeah.
Everyone who had bought a
Yeah.
PS2,
Yeah.
PS1,
Yeah.
bought all these games, supported them for so long, mattered. And with Microsoft, they were kind of telling you that Xbox One was the greatest thing.
They were asking you to upload.
Because it's rocket science.
And here it was just natural.
because it's rocket science level stuff. I don't know. I just couldn't get into that. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time. We got to wrap up. I know everyone wants to talk about the games so badly, and there were so many games. That conference blew us away with the games. But we're gonna have to leave that discussion for tomorrow. So stay tuned to my interview media. But PS4 definitely wins the E3 battle.
thank you, Sony. Thank you.
Definitely.